So the pop can story really highlights the fact that it's rare for a person to escalate from 0 to 100 like that. It's more common for things to build up. So when we're talking about smokers, smoking is a stress reliever for most smokers. So you're probably going to catch them in a good moment, either at the beginning of their anxiety level or towards the end of their anxiety level. Either way, you wouldn't really expect the same kind of reaction.
My story is about a man named Joe. Joe lives at the DI. Joe's never been homeless before. He works full time. He works in construction from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. And for those of you who don't know, like I said earlier, we wake everybody up at 5:30 and you have to be off the sleeping floor by 6 a.m. So if you have to be up earlier than 5:30, you actually can't wake yourself up with an alarm or whatnot if you want to get to work on time for 6, right? You have to sign up for a wake-up call the night before, and a staff member will come over and wake you up when it's time to get up. Talk about a loss of power, right? So Joe has to sign up for a wake-up call every day in order to get to work on time. Joe's lucky because he gets off work just in time for supper service, which is served between 6 and 7, and just in time for third floor, where he sleeps, opens up at 7. So he gets off work, he has a meal, he goes to line up for third floor, he signs in and he decides he needs to have a shower. He worked 12 hours in construction. Woohoo! A little bit smelly, right? It's summertime. So Joe goes and grabs his shower gear and goes to the shower room. There's 225 men on third floor. There are 12 showers. The showers are full. Joe decides, okay, well, I'm gonna wait until a shower becomes available. And while he goes to his bunk, he lays down, he drifts away. Joe falls asleep. So now the lights are on. It's 5:30 in the morning. The staff are saying, come on guys, it's time to go, let's go, let's go. Joe's late. No time for a shower. Joe quickly runs and puts on his gear, runs to the office and says, staff, I need a bag lunch. I gotta go to work. Staff says, Joe, I can't give you a bag lunch. You didn't sign up for one last night. I only have enough for the people who signed up. If you wait until no time to wait, Joe runs out the door. Runs all the way to the C train station, sees his train pulling up, thinks great, jumps on the train, the door closes, awesome. But wait, he forgot to punch his ticket. So who's standing on the train? But a transit officer who asks him to produce his paid fare. Joe says, look, officer, I'm really, really sorry. He gives him his ticket and says, I forgot to punch. The officer says, no, I have a job to do, issues Joe a violation. $250 fine, by the way. Number one reason DI clients are incarcerated. So Joe has this $250 fine. He's late for work, building the courage to tell his boss what's going on, shows up at the work site late. Tells his boss the story. His boss says, you know what, Joe, it's okay, things happen. You can stay late, you can make up the time. He says, thank you so much. So let's fast forward a little bit. Joe just worked 2 12-hour shifts, no shower. Oh man, does he need one. Joe just worked a full 12-hour shift, no food. Joe's really, really hungry. Joe has a $250 violation in his pocket, which means he made $0 today, and he's getting off work later than he normally does. He shows up at the DI, and he sees that our gate is closed, which means supper's over. We close our gate every day at 7, okay? He sees a large lineup of people outside that gate, so Joe jumps in line. By the time he makes it all the way up to the front of the line, Joe realizes the building is full. He's gonna have to sleep outside. Now you run into Joe. Who wants to open the can? So each time I shook it, it's a buildup. Precipitating factors, right? People don't just act out for no reason. There are things that lead to that escalated behavior.
This exercise highlights the fact that we all have things going on in our lives, and based on the outer image that we present to the world, we can't really determine what's going on with an individual. So when we walk up to somebody and we introduce ourselves and they turn around and they go, what? Don't make that about you. Don't acknowledge that behavior. Take a step back, take a breath, introduce yourself, and focus on what you're trying to accomplish. A person who becomes upset, their behavior stems from a circumstance, and often that circumstance has absolutely nothing to do with the person in front of them. It has everything to do with their life, their experiences, their day, their stress levels, their challenges. And so we, when we are approaching a smoker, can discern the fact that they have their own issues going on, and it's probably not related to our conversation. So if a person becomes upset, then you focus on other key strategies like your exit, whether or not you're on your own. You focus on those safety pieces rather than making it about this person yelled at me, it was about me, because often it's not, it has nothing to do with you. So basically the whole point of it is Q-tip. Quit taking it personal.